This is one of the boards we've made here at Point Leo. It's 8'6". We can't make much over that, or we don't want to make anything over that, purely because we haven't got the room. It's too much volume, too hard to do. But they're vacuum bagged bamboo, 5 layers of glass on the deck and 1 on the bottom, no stringers. So the weight comes out about 8 kilos for an 8'6". Okay, so when you're paddling for a wave, you want to keep all your strokes on the one side. So what it means, you're actually looking out at the wave, you're summing it up where it's going to break, and you allow yourself 3 or 4 strokes before the board's actually straight on the wave to catch it. So it's all a matter of timing. If you're too far around and you're going to have to paddle straight, then you're better off blocking your stroke, paddling a little bit backwards and straightening the board up, and then going 3 strokes. Once you have to change your paddle to the other side, it becomes really difficult and you become unstable. Paddling out through waves, you need to separate your stance and step into it so that the wave doesn't hit the board and bang you straight back in the face. If your stance is spread, it's a lot easier to maintain that pressure of the wave hitting your board, and you can absorb it. You also put your paddle over to the back of the wave and pull back as hard as you can, and you'll be able to get through waves almost waist high. Just white water, whatever. Yeah, it's all just a matter of the technique of doing it right, but it's just practice. If you're inexperienced and you need to get into the surf, make sure you don't paddle out through the impact zone, which is the wave where everybody's catching the wave and riding through. Too many people on SUPs haven't got any idea what they're doing and where they should be, but no surfer will paddle out through the impact zone. You only end up getting washed back on top of other people, or who knows. So you've got to stay clear of the wave, paddle around. You've got a board that's very buoyant, just white water in. If you're stuck in the white water, go to the outside of the break and paddle right around to where you want to be and give it another go. If you get into trouble and the wind picks up, you should always have your leg rope on. That's the first thing. Never ever paddle without your leg rope. It's like 20 life jackets on the end of your leg. But also, if you do get into trouble, lay down on your board, because the wind resistance is what's blowing you out to sea. Lay down on your board flat, turn your paddle upside down and paddle, put it underneath your chest and just paddle in like a surfboard. It's dead easy, and once you get in near a wave, catch a white water wave in. When I'm paddling out from the beach, I have both feet together, one either side of the handle. As you move out into the break, you slip your front foot further forward, just a half a foot or so, and then as you're catching the wave or as you're turning through your strokes, you slip your other foot back and you're in your surf stance. This gives you a lot more stability for when you take off on the wave. No matter how critical it is, you're in your surf stance, so you've got the stability to make the drop. As a surfer for a long time, I've always wondered about letting your board go and it coming out the front of the wave. And I sort of figured with these SUPs, if there's enough volume in, all you've got to do is to learn to stay on. So I've been practicing for probably the last 5 years, and 2 years ago I was in the national titles and I ended up winning the best manoeuvre of the whole contest because I picked off a peak that was absolutely perfect, and I did one of my lip launches. The crowd went up in cheering and everything, and nobody could believe it, but it was just one of those things. Nobody else has even tried it, to my knowledge. So there's a few guys trying them now, but I actually beat a guy from West Australia, a 20-year-old, who'd done an aerial, which is 100 times harder than what I'm doing. And yeah, so it just takes a hell of a lot of practice. You've got to get the perfect wave to hit the peak, and away you go. Just paddle into it and let it throw you over and adjust your stance as you go down, and you're there, yeah.